Hiya, I hope everyone is well. I have been tagged by the lovely Elisa in Montreal to do the grey hair tag. I believe Nicole Johnson and Victoria Marie tagged hair. I don't know where it's originally originated from, but yeah, I'll give it a go. I've put a list of the 10 questions in the description box so you know what's coming, and yeah, I'll crack on. So number 1, how old were you when you started going grey? I was definitely in my 20s. I was about 25 when I first noticed a few flecks in the regrowth. I used to have my hair tinted with foils to highlight it, just because I liked having the blonde highlights. I think it was 2 shades of blonde and one of like a brownie colour. It was really nice, but I used to get that done every 2 months and it was fine. But one time I was really skinned and I couldn't afford to get it done for about 8 months, and I had a fringe at the time, but because I couldn't really get my foils done, I had to let my fringe grow, which I'd never been able to do before, because I didn't want like a mousy bit and all the rest all like blondie. So, but I did notice, that was when I really noticed, oh, I've got a fair few around this region sort of thing. So yeah, mid-20s. It wasn't a problem for me then though. How old were you when you decided to transition? I was definitely 41. However, I think I was 40 when I started to realise that there were only certain types of colour that I could carry. I had my hair kind of like a balayage. I think it's a balayage, where the ends are lighter than the roots, but because my roots weren't dark, I had them dyed dark brown or a brown, and it looked really hard on my face. And I suppose that might have been the beginning where I thought I can't really carry certain colours maybe anymore, or I just can't carry them. So that was probably the beginning of me considering doing something different at least. In December of 2016, I was 41 then, I got an ear infection a week before Christmas, and I was really sick. I was vomiting and I was dizzy, and yeah, I was really poorly. My ears were so sore that I couldn't really do my roots just before Christmas, because I usually did them the week before. And yeah, it was about another 4 weeks after that before I coloured my hair, and that was probably when I was really considering, shall I just let it grow? I dyed my hair I think 3 times after that before I decided to stop. Did you go to your hairdresser to help you with the transition, or did you just go cold turkey? And what did your hairdresser do to help you if you went? I didn't go to the hairdresser, I just decided to stop colouring. I suppose I did go cold turkey, but I'm kind of with Elisa on this one, where the only way you can transition to grey is to go cold turkey. Whether you have your hair dyed lighter or to tone in as best as you can with what you have, you're still going to have to grow it out. Unless you have a buzz cut, then you're still going to have to grow it out, you just haven't got the dyed bits on the end. So yeah, I just decided to stop. I did, however, go for the mighty chop and had a really short bob, but I think I did that maybe in a little bit of haste because the hairdresser did make a mess of it, and I had to go to another hairdresser to make that a little bit tidier. But that's as far as I went with a hairdresser. I didn't consult a hairdresser about growing it out or what to do, I just decided to stop. What was the reaction of your friends and family? I told them what I was going to do, and that was that. We have a chat about it sometimes, but that's about as far as it goes. Your favourite thing about being grey? Not colouring my hair anymore, not having to do it every 3 weeks, and having nice growth, because I find that when I straighten my hair now, I seem to not, it doesn't get as damaged as what the ends used to because they were already wrecked. So I suppose that's 2 favourite things. Least favourite thing about being grey? I don't have a least favourite thing about being grey, but Getting there has been a certainly testament to my patience. Do you receive a lot of criticism for your grey hair? If so, how do you deal with it? I don't really get any criticism, or at least not to my face anyway. Just talk about it, you know. I've told people what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. I do get banter. I think I may have mentioned it in a previous video where I hadn't seen someone for a few years and we were chatting, and in this person's normal Scouse humour just looked at me and said, "Hey Trace, you don't half look stressed," and I was like, "Eh?" And he was like, "Well, you grey hair." But you know, I don't think he meant it like maliciously, and we had a laugh about it. You know, I said something like, "Well, you know, I'm certainly beyond the touching up my roots stage," but that's about as bad as it's got, if you want to call that bad. What is your favourite compliment that you have received about your hair? I get a lot of nice compliments, to be fair. You know, it's looking nice, it's coming on, you know, how long's it been and all that. But I do remember when I was round about maybe the 5 month, 6 month stage maybe, I think, I had my hair back, I'd just washed it, and one of the guys in the office said, "Oh, have you had your hair done?" And I was like, no, I just washed it, you know, like you just say. And he was like, "Oh, I thought you'd had your hair dyed grey like all the young trendy girls." And I was like, "Oh, young and trendy." That put me on a high. What is your biggest piece of advice to anyone looking to start the process? My biggest bit of advice, whether you're starting this process or anything that you want to do, is tell people. Don't ask them for their advice or their thoughts, because they'll tell you and you won't do it anyway, and then they'll criticise you for not following their advice. So I told people, I am not colouring my hair no more, I am going to transition to grey. So people tended to be like, okay. You're going to get the few that go, "Oh, don't do that," but you just say, "No, I'm telling you that's what I'm doing, I am doing it." So they've got no reason to kind of give you their advice. You've not asked for it. They can offer it to you, but at least you don't have to take it, and they can't criticise you for it when you don't. But if you ask them, they'll say something, you'll get a little bit sensitive about it, and then you'll go back to probably colouring, which is fine if that's what you want. But if you've made your mind up that you want to stop colouring your hair, you have to tell people that that is what you have done. And that's what I did. It worked for me. Who is your grey hair idol? I don't really have a grey hair idol. I quite have a lot of admiration for anyone who has gone through the transition process of going grey. However, at the beginning, before I did all of this and was proper looking on YouTube, the two people that stood out for me that made me seriously consider it was obviously Annika von Holt. You know, however, she was kind of the image of reality and expectation. You know, she looks absolutely stunning, she's glamorous, you know, I think she lives in the Bahamas somewhere, and all their Instagram pics are, you know, amazing. So obviously she was one of the people that I was looking into, but I don't know if she's my idol. But the other person who probably would be more of an idol is I think she's a UK journalist called Sarah Harris. I think at the time she was 34, 35, and she just never coloured her hair, and it's just long, grey, looks amazing. But again, I don't know if I'd call them my idols. I don't kind of want to be that way, but they've certainly felt like they've pointed me in the direction that I've wanted to go. You know what, everyone on YouTube since is probably, you know, they're all up there, we're all in this little niche together, getting ourselves through it. So unfortunately no idol. I'm pleased with myself, like Elisa is. I'm proud of myself. I don't have a grey hair idol, I'm afraid. Ooh. So there you go, that was my grey hair tag. It's now my turn to tag someone. So I am going to throw this back across the pond, back to Canada, to Erica Henry Johnston. Really enjoyed watching her recent uploads, not just on grey hair, but you know, obviously about everything else that she's doing, and I really hope she does this. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and thumbs up if you like.